Hello and welcome to this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. I am Megara Vijayamana.
And I am Tharindu Amarasekara. This is the sound of profitability.
Sri Lanka has been recognized as one of the top 3 must-visit destinations for summer 2024 by a specialist contributor in the prestigious Forbes magazine. The island nation is praised for its blend of surf and wellness cultures, with numerous centers for yoga, Reiki, and breathwork emerging in recent years. The Mirissa Beach was highlighted for its calm, crystal clear waters and rock formations, showing up among TripAdvisor's Best of the Best Beaches for 2024. Forbes article noted that unlike some popular tourist destinations experiencing anti-tourism protest, Sri Lanka is actively seeking to attract more visitors.
The Colombo Stock Exchange has implemented the T+2, or in other words, Trade plus 2 days settlement cycle, which is a shortened settlement cycle compared to T+3, which was in existence since 2007. This will make the settlement of equity transactions much faster. Investors have experienced swift payment processing, receiving their funds within 2 days for the first time since the cycle reduction. The successful implementation of the shortened settlement cycle not only reduces operational risks but also amplifies market liquidity. Further, this achievement underscores the effectiveness of CSE's strategic initiatives in enhancing investor experience.
Recently, the IMF's Executive Board approved Sri Lanka's $3 billion Extended Fund Facility Program. The minister recognized the IMF approval as a people's victory, outlining its significance in reinforcing economic stability and resilience. As he stated, despite the short-term hardships, the medium and long term are expected to bring significant improvements in the economic outlook. The approval of the second review will unlock the third tranche of $336 million, bringing the total received from the $3 billion program to $1 billion. And now it's time for corporate highlights.
In yet another expansion growth move, Sri Lanka's homegrown app-based mobility solutions provider PickMe has launched their new branch offices in Anuradhapura and Jaffna 6 months after they have launched a pilot project to extend their services to the northern provinces. PickMe COO Isra Pereira said their services have been received favorably by the newly added districts to the platform. Over 6,000 new drivers from Jaffna and Anuradhapura have registered in the last 6 months, unlocking more economic opportunities for the provinces. PickMe is expecting a boost, with Alliance Air operating flights between India and Palali International Airport, and Indigo Airlines tipped to commence operations soon.
A new subsidiary of Vidul Lanka PLC will set up a 4.9 megawatt solar power plant in Hambantota with a 1 billion rupee investment. With over 25 years of experience, the Vidul Group currently boasts a portfolio of 19 renewable energy power projects, ranging from hydro, solar, and dendro sources. The portfolio has a total energy capacity of around 49 megawatts, which in turn generates and supplies over 180 gigawatt hours annually to the national grids of Sri Lanka and Uganda. In fiscal year 2024, Vidul Lanka achieved 3.8 billion rupees revenue, up from 2.5 billion rupees in the previous year, and crossed the 1 billion rupees mark in terms of profit after tax, as against 866 million rupees in fiscal year 2023. The Aditya Birla Global Trading Group of Singapore has been awarded the contract to supply 5 stocks of shipments of 92 unlead petrol to the government-owned CPC, accounting for a total volume of 1.5 million barrels. The decision was made based on the bids received from registered suppliers of CPC for a period of 6 months from 15 July 2024 to 14 January 2025. Aditya Birla Global Trading Singapore is a globally diversified commodities trader handling over 30 different commodities across agri-products, agri-inputs, energy, and metals. And here are this week's international highlights.
The Federal Reserve of the USA government has announced that their interest rates will remain unchanged and to expect only one rate cut before the end of the year as inflation is heading towards a 2% target which they have set. Meanwhile, once this target is met, they are expecting to have a loosening of the policy to allow some other policy changes in their economy. US Central Bank leaves policy rates in the 5.25% to 5.5% range, while the federal policymakers scale back to one rate cut in 2024. Policy easing hinges on more progress in reducing inflation. The petrodollar agreement was signed in 1974 between the United States of America and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Both nations have agreed towards pricing and trading of oil in US dollars. This agreement expired on the 9th of June and has not been extended or renewed by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and this is seen as a global finance paradigm shift with regard to the US dollar, where it might no longer be the reserve currency, and the consequences on the United States government could be massive. This landmark deal, initiated on June 8, 1974, facilitated the exchange of US dollars for crude oil exports, bolstering the dollar's dominance. With the deal's expiration, Saudi Arabia is now free to sell oil for currencies like yuan, euros, rubles, and yen, and is even considering digital currencies like the Bitcoin. A decline in global demand for the dollar could lead to higher inflation, interest rates, and a weaker bond market in the US. And that's it for this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. No matter what investment decision you make it with the right information and intel. We will see you next week.